someone who prayed 5 times a day and did not compromise at all on faith, we know that person was actually truly following the Prophet of Islam. Aisha was one of them. We have no reasons to doubt Aisha's character because Aisha was very diligent in her worship.
So why do Shias distrust their character?
Shias have a completely different tradition.
I'm not trying to cause
no,
division.
there's no division.
I like the Shia brothers.
Okay.
No division.
Okay.
Go.
They're saying about the Christians believe about Jesus rising after going on the cross.
Yes.
And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what it says in the Quran about that, because I know Jesus Christ is in the Quran.
Yes.
So I just wanted you to elaborate a little bit just on what they say about that certain instances.
The Quran says he was not killed, he was not crucified.
Okay.
Full stop. Period.
Okay. That's
it.
I just wanted to
The
elaborate.
Quran in chapter 4, verse 157 to 159, it clearly categorically states when the Israelites claimed that they killed him because the Jewish people at the time claimed that they were the ones responsible for his punishment as an imposter. As a liar, because they claimed he was a liar.
Okay, so
and the Quran says their claim that they killed him is a lie because he was not killed, he was not crucified.
Okay. So
Period.
How do we distinguish which one?
That's
was
now
the
we're
true
going
story?
into another discussion.
How do you distinguish which is the true story, whether the Christians
Go
are
and
true or
watch.
the
There are
other
hundreds of debates between myself and other people, and they've debated this topic. Did Jesus
Okay.
die on the cross?
I will research.
Yeah. Do that, please.
Alright, so do we need to start the conversation? Shall we start from afresh?
No. We were discussing something about Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
hadith.
So I'm going to make the case that, like I said,
that Aisha was fallible.
No. What I'm saying is, look, if just for argument's sake, I don't believe Muhammad was perfect. But for argument's sake, let's say he was perfect and infallible from making mistakes. Now, my issue with the hadiths, and not necessarily the Quran, is that you have a situation where you have, say like me and you in a room and there's no third party. You may be, just say for argument's sake, I know, trigger warning please, you're Muhammad, yeah? Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
let's assume Muhammad is there.
Yeah, just say he's there. Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Aisha is having a conversation, with Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad has given her some revelation from God, which is amazing. Yeah, she is. Do you agree that Aisha is? Before we go on, is Aisha fallible to make mistakes?
Yes.
So what would
Aisha can make mistakes.
So
yes.
what would happen? Yeah, if when Aisha leaves the room, she goes to a third person, and then she says that Prophet Muhammad says this. But she has made mistakes into interpretation.
Yes.
So the message originally may have been right, but the interpretation as it goes to the third person becomes corrupted.
That's a very
good
good
point. And that can go down a long chain of narrations.
Yes, that's a very good point you made. You see,
and not just with
if Aisha was
everyone.
the only source of Islam.
Or any of the caliphs or any of the...
That's a very good point you make now. This is why I asked you this question. Have you actually studied the science of hadith? Because when you do, you come to realize that some of the reports of the Prophet become so, how can I put it, so much multiply attested that they become impossible to be false or a lie. I'll give you an example. Let's say Aisha says something, and then another companion comes along. He confirms what Aisha said.
But he wasn't in the room though.
He wasn't in the room.
So how can he confirm what he said?
About what Aisha said,
it's still third person. This is the problem.
Right.
Unless he was physically in the room, he cannot 100% say. So, the Arabic language is very complicated and has multiple words and multiple meanings to particular words. All she has to do is to say one word wrong or she's a human being, obviously she's fallible. So the science of the hadith is very flawed.
No, it's not flawed.
Because from the beginning...
When you use the word flawed,
well,
you are sinking the ship just because you see
you
see the fault. Maybe the way you see it, you see the fault, maybe a scratch on the body of the ship. We should drown the ship. No, it doesn't work like that. The ship, the vessel, is still floating for the last 14 centuries. I'll explain how it works. Certain things Aisha said. You raised a very, very valid point. No doubt, it's an intelligent point. Certain things, because of that reason, because Aisha radiallahu anha, she was alone in having certain opinions, and other companions of the Prophet who had heard from the Prophet complimentary information which corrected Aisha, they rejected what Aisha said. For example, one of the views Aisha held was that giving milk to a child a certain amount of times, a certain number of times, that child becomes your mahram. Mahram is that you no longer have to cover yourself from him. He becomes your like a son, like foster son. So how do we establish foster relationships with the child or with a person. Aisha had one view, and other companions, they didn't accept it. They said, no, sorry, Aisha's mistaken here.
So was Aisha
she has
lying?
misunderstood. No, of course, they said she made a mistake. She had an error in judgment. When someone makes a mistake, if Raj makes a mistake, I'm not going to say Raj is a liar. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Raj made a mistake, right? So we have this mechanism in hadith science. Okay, it's not as blind as Aisha said it. Allah, we bow to Aisha. No, wait, let me finish very quickly. We have a system where the reports of the Prophet ﷺ are multiply attested. He had over 100,000 companions, and out of those 100,000, we know 10,000 by name. 10,000 of them, we know them by name. We know who they were, where they came from, what they did, and how long they lived. The last one to die died in 110. His name was Amir Abu Tufail. Okay, he died in 110, exactly a century after, nearly 99 years after the Prophet's death. When the Prophet was alive, he was nearly 10 years old. When Prophet died, and he lived for nearly 109, 110 years old. Okay.
Can I ask you one question?
So we know exactly when they lived, what they preached, what they taught, and amazingly, when they preached something, like Abu Bakr would say, I heard Prophet saying this. Did anyone else hear this? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people would stand up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right.
See the point?
All right,
now, do you understand how our tradition is
Can I
preserved?
say something?
Yeah.
All right, let me just clarify something. I am not going to contest that if there's 3 people in a room, that you can claim that source is reliable. What I'm trying to say to you, and I want a percentage from yourself that you might know, how many of the hadiths are just from one person with Muhammad alone? How many of them are that? How many in a percentage? Is it 10%? Because those hadiths then will be unreliable to a certain degree.
No, not necessarily.
Because
no.
unless you
Not
have a third person
necessarily.
in the room,
No.
you're admitting that Aisha and anybody else apart from Prophet Muhammad is fallible. Yeah? So if they're fallible, they could make tiny mistakes, can't they? So if they were to then come out,
which they did.
I know, but unless some,
Which they did.
So you're agreeing they did. So even
Yes.
the ones that you can
But
test,
how do we know they made mistakes? How do we know they made
because
mistakes?
it contradicts the Quran.
No.
Or contradicts
no,
Muhammad's life.
no.
Well, that's what I was
Because
assuming.
other companions came forward and they gave the remaining information. They
Right.
said this is what was missing. So what we do is we have almost about 5,000 to 6,000 reports from the Prophet. Without repetitions. For example, if you pick up Bukhari, which is our tradition, which has chains. I'll give you an example. What do we mean by chains? Bukhari, you're right, wrote in the late or the early 3rd century, of Islam. Bukhari was writing at that time. And you were thinking, hold on a second, Bukhari is 2 centuries apart from the Prophet. How can he get this information, right? Very good point. Bukhari took this information from teachers who were taught by their teachers, and they were taught by their teachers, and they were taught directly by the Prophet. And this was public knowledge. People were taking this knowledge publicly, delivering it publicly, right? For example, Bukhari had a teacher called Abdullah bin Yusuf. Abdullah bin Yusuf taught Bukhari when he was in his 80s or 90s. He was a very old man, okay? Abdullah bin Yusuf took his knowledge from a man called Malik bin Anas. Malik bin Anas also lived a very long life. He was born in 93 or 94 Hijri and died in 179. So he lived nearly 80 plus, how much is that? 80 plus, 86 years old. Malik was taught by Nafi'. Nafi' was a teacher of Malik, and Nafi' was taught by Abdullah bin Umar. Abdullah bin Umar was taught directly by the Prophet. This is an uninterrupted chain. Well, let me finish, Raj, so that you explain. Okay? This is an uninterrupted chain of teachers who are teaching publicly, passing on the tradition. Okay? Now, this is one chain. One chain. Bukhari has hundreds. Okay? Now, there are chains where Bukhari has three people between him and the Prophet. Very quickly, I'm finishing now, yeah? Bukhari had a teacher called Makki ibn Abi Ibrahim. Okay? Makki ibn Abi Ibrahim had a teacher called Yazid ibn Abi Ubaid. Okay? Yazid ibn Abi Ubaid had a teacher called Salma ibn al-Aqwa, who was a direct companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Prophet taught Salma ibn al-Aqwa. Salma ibn al-Aqwa taught Yazid bin Abi Ubaid, and Yazid taught his student Makki ibn Abi Ibrahim, and Makki taught Bukhari. 3 people between Bukhari and Prophet Muhammad, and all 3 of them, they lived long lives, over 70 years old. So when you do the calculation, you come to realize actually historically they did live between this period, and if each one of them is 70 to 80 years old, can easily teach his student,
Okay,
and then his student, and then Bukhari.
All
So
right.
historically,
Yeah.
we have carried out meticulous
Yeah.
research into these topics.
Yeah.
We have delicately checked every single report, every single word of hadith literature has been turned
And-
upside down. And you know who the first people are to cast aside certain controversial reports, right? Because they cannot reach the level of certainty we require
Yeah.
for our religion.
Yeah.
Our own scholars,
All right.
the Muslim scholars.
I need to speak here. It's,
If we apply that standard on the
we
Sikh
need
religion,
a dialogue, not a monologue, man.
Oh, sorry.
So
Yeah,
the
go
thing is,
on.
all right, I'm going to go back to the source, yeah? You have one individual in a room with Muhammad. There is no third person, yeah? The person that Muhammad is talking to, if you believe that Muhammad is perfect, then obviously you could say what Muhammad said was perfect. But if the person he's saying it to is imperfect and then leaves the room and then speaks to somebody else and mistranslates or misrepresents what he says, and I'm going to put another thing into it so you can kind of mix it up. Trigger warning again. I understand that Aisha, yeah, had issues with one of the caliphs that was later on. There was a bit of kind of political intrigue
Ali.
within
She
the
fought
thingy.
a battle with Ali.
So, is there, as a person,
And we believe Aisha was wrong.
as a fallible human being who
Yeah.
might have had some distrust or hatred towards
Yeah.
Ali,
Yeah.
may her interpretations that what Muhammad said then be kind of construed to suit her narrative?
She actually did not follow the Prophet in this. Prophet had specifically warned her.
So she lied.
No, yaar.
It sounds.
No. Look, if someone makes an error of judgment, doesn't make that person a liar. How simple is that, Raj? Is that difficult to understand?
All right, go on,
if you
go on.
make an error of judgment, am I saying, Raj, you're a liar, chuta kadhab? Yeah, in Punjabi.
But how-
I use the
hold on,
Punjabi
but how
word
do
as
you
well.
know that
Yeah.
she wasn't purposely lying?
No, we have never believed that. We will never believe that.
But
Aisha knew, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, anyone who professed belief in Prophet, and how do we know this person professes belief in the Prophet? Someone who was very diligent in his worship. Someone who prayed 5 times a day and did not compromise at all on faith. We know that person was actually truly following the Prophet of Islam. Aisha was one of them. We have no reasons to doubt Aisha's character because Aisha was very diligent in her worship.
So
Okay?
why do Shias distrust their character?
Shias have a completely different tradition.
I'm not
just
trying to
like
cause
no.
division.
There's no division.
I like the Shia brothers. No
Okay.
division.
Okay.
Go.
The Shias have a completely different view on Islamic history. That's why earlier when I said the Sikhs have, made up stories.
Oh, let's not go to the Sikh. Let's go back
no,
to the
No, I'm
narrations.
giving you an example.
Yeah.
This is a discussion, right?
Yeah.
So I can say what I want. Sikhs have made up stories around the deaths of the 2 of the Guru's sons, right? The detail, how they spoke to their grandmother, how dignified they were. They refused. So wait.
I'm gonna say.
They refused to bow to the Mughal pressure. They did not convert to Islam. Okay, all of these details are impossible to ascertain. They are impossible to ascertain. Why? Because we do not have any independent. Even the Sikh tradition casts doubt on these stories. There are Sikh historians who say these stories, we can't really trust them.
But Adnan, we went
can't
over
believe-
this, and
Yeah,
I said to
yeah,
you that I agree that distortion can happen over history,
Yeah.
and that people can
So,
exaggerate things.
just like that, the Shias,
for
just like that,
political
just like the
situation.
Shias have carved so many stories around.
Aisha?
No, about
but we're
Aisha
talking about
generally.
Aisha.
Okay, now
Because
you
she
see-
has done a lot of narrations, and the
What you
Shias
need
are
to know
saying
about-
that she is distrustful.
Okay, what you
And
need-
so how do we know what she said when she was alone in the room with Muhammad? When she walked out, Muhammad could have been the greatest person in the world and talked from God directly and said what
We
God
have
said.
no reason-
But when Aisha got the message, she is a human being who's fallible, and some Shias say that she's actually insincere and maybe even dishonest. She may have walked out and then said something that Muhammad didn't say, and now that is a narration. Yeah,
nothing the Shias claim against the
I'm not
Sunnis
talking
is
about
based
Shias.
upon what
I'm not
Aisha said.
talking about the Shia. I'm just talking about she is a human being that had by Shias.
Look,
by Shias
Raj,
understanding.
you completely ignored what I said earlier.
I know, but what-
Even if your argument was valid, for argument's sake, I like to see territory to gain territory. You know, we have this tactic. You can call it a Mughal tactic, yeah? Yeah. Not the taqiyya is not. Okay, by the way, let me clarify something about
I do
taqiyya.
love taqiyya, though.
Okay.
It's my favourite,
Okay, Raj,
Muslim
can you now be educated on this and put this idea to rest forever, once and for all? We, the Sunnis, okay, do not believe in taqiyya. We don't believe in taqiyya. Taqiyya, the way the Shias believe in it. For example, What is taqiyya? Taqiyya is deliberately lying to hide the truth, to avoid trouble. That's what taqiyya. To put it in very simple terms. We the Sunnis, we do not believe it. We believe it's cowardice. We believe it's cowardice. If you study the history of our imams, some of them were tortured for years by the kings and they didn't do taqiyya. Okay, so taqiyya is something which is done under. For example, if someone is about to be killed and the life is threatened, and someone is asked, for example, to say something insulting to the Prophet or the Quran, to Allah, so that you can save your life. Like what you know what's happening in
Burma.
no, in India.
Oh, in India,
Hindu mobs are catching Muslim men and women, and they are beating them and asking them to say Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram. Yeah. If you don't say, you'll die. So some of these Muslim poor men, you know, who are surrounded by this mob of wolves and hyenas, they have to say this, right, to save their life. In this case, the Quran is a verse that if you have said a word of kufr, a word of disbelief to save your lives, there is no harm on you so long as there is iman in your heart. Okay, wait. Now, taqiyya is when there is no threat, no one is threatening you, no one is saying anything to you, you come and lie. And the Shias do this. We don't. The Shia are a minority sect in Islam. Okay, we as Muslims believe that it is a cult. It is not part of mainstream
I do
Islam.
like my Shia brothers though, so shout out to the Shia brothers.
No.
I met them over there, they're good guys.
The Shias have their own view, and we have no problem. They have chosen to follow a particular path. We have no problem with that.
But I think Shias are, I don't want to get into this sect, but I think Shias are a bit more, they're more easier to talk to and easier to kind of like discuss about religion, and maybe they're a bit more kind of, I don't know, not so dogged in their approach. When I speak to Shias, I seem to get a different viewpoint, and they're much more tolerant. That's just my view. And Sufis,
have you found me?
I love Sufis.
Have you found me bigoted?
Not you, but generally.
I'm Sunni.
I know, but it's 50-50.
I'm Sunni, and I try my best to be as
Let me
Sunni as
give you an-
possible. So don't use this red herrings.
Let me give you an analogy. Yeah, if you got a dog, yeah, I'm not comparing Muslims to dogs, but just an analogy. You got a dog, and a dog bites.
No, don't give that. If you're not comparing, then I can use. I'll use an analogy. You won't like it. You won't like it.
The reason I'm saying a dog is because they can be
No,
vicious.
use a horse. Use a goat, something like that.
Me, man.
Okay.
So I'm
or
not
use
gonna
a camel,
I'm not gonna
something
say I'm
closer
scared
to
of
Muslims.
I'm not saying I'm scared of a horse.
Okay,
man.
but don't.
Right, so say there's a dog
If
let me just say, make my analogy.
But
You
don't
can
make.
correct it. All right. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Have some courtesy.
You.
Me.
Yeah, brother.
Me.
Yeah.
He's using dog as an example.
No.
Yeah.
You just don't like dogs in Islam.
If
that's
I
why.
use an analogy,
I love dogs.
If I compared you with dogs, how would you feel? If
for the
I
sake of the
did a
argument.
comparison between you and dogs, how would you feel?
No.
You would say to me, have some courtesy. Thank you.
For the sake of an argument,
Yeah.
I'm saying if you got a dog, and a dog, when you try and pet it, it bites you 50% of the time, you're going to be more kind of apprehensive about the dog. Now, if the dog licks you and it kind of protects you like 90% of the time, you're going to be more kind of appreciative of them. So when I meet Shias, I tend to have that reaction. When I meet Shias, it's 50-50.
You're saying the Shias are like dogs?
No, I'm saying Shias
Dogs
are,
that lick you?
No, I'm saying Shias
Yeah, is that what you're
are
saying?
much more...
You're insulting the Shia now.
No, I'm not. I'm saying Shias...
No.
From my,
You could have used another
You're-
example. If
you're
I
trying-
talked about Sikhs
you're
and I
trying to
said
straw
there are
man it, yeah?
pigs,
No, I didn't say
they
that.
do this and they
I'm
do that.
using
I
it-
would never use an
I'm
example like
using
that.
the dog.
That's insulting.
No, the-
That's
Can I say something?
That's disgusting
Can I say
to use
something?
an example
I love
like that.
dogs, I got two staff.
You love dogs, we don't
I
love
know,
dogs.
Muslims hate dogs, so your kind of perception
We don't hate
of what
dogs.
I'm saying is different.
We don't hate
Yeah, I
dogs.
can't say a horse bites me, can I?
We don't love them.
What do I say?
We don't love them. We don't hate them, but we don't love them.
I can't use a sheep. I can't use a pig. I can't use a thingy. I've got to use an animal that can bite.
Yeah, parrots bite.
Oh my! What is a parrot gonna do?
Use
to
a parrot.
Me?
So
A dog can
so try
harm
not
me.
to be.
No,
Try
come on,
not
man.
to be provocative.
And the Sufis,
My
they
friend, this is a
no
discussion.
issue with the Sufis though. That's the
This is
thing.
a discussion. Have some courtesy. Have some courtesy.
Come on, brother. Thank you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Raj,
yeah,
going
listen
back
to
to our
it, man.
discussion. Going back to our discussion. So coming back to our discussion
I
on.
didn't call Muslim dogs. You guys are great, man. I'm just using an analogy that this guy can't understand.
You're not helping yourself, Raj. Every week you come, you make yourself look bad.
know, but
You
I
calm
don't
down, man.
clarify
Can you
it.
go back to your earlier mode, the
all right,
friendly
yeah,
mode,
but
the
you
decent Raj mode, okay? And I know sometimes this comes out.
was getting
okay?
antagonistic.
I can get angry and I can come up with things
You
that
have to understand,
you will start cooking it. You start smoking.
Adnan, do you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I react how people react.
I don't want to
me.
make Sikhs angry out there.
Yeah, you
I love the Sikh people. I want to reach out to them. I want them to know that there are Muslims out there who really love and respect you despite all the history. and I don't want to go to the history. Despite all the ugly history we have, okay, I want to make sure that there is a good example of the Sikhs and the Muslims out there. And don't be a bad example for the Sikhs, please. Stop using dogs as an example.
But they're calling me Tommy Robinson saying and all that. What
Forget them. Forget them. There are idiots out there calling me out all kind of things.
Did you see that Dawa channel? He had a 2-minute video of me. It made me look like some supervillain. Yeah. What do you want me to do? It's like all this sort of music.
When you work with racist scumbags, when you work with racist scumbags like Tommy Robinson
I like some of his views,
or EDL,
I don't agree with them all.
Yeah. You know,
I can agree with some of what he says.
if they had the chance, they would shave your beard off and shave your head off as well. If they had the chance.
If they had the chance, that's why I don't agree with all
they hate you as well.
I know, I don't agree with all of that.
Islamophobia is the new face of racism today. Islamophobia and racism is the same face
let's not go down this
or the two sides of the same coin.
Please,
two sides of the same coin.
We've been nice to each other for today, man. Come on, let's be serious.
Yeah, let's go.
So
About epistemology, we were talking about epistemology, the theory of knowledge. How do we reach the
science
truth
of the hadiths
and the Sikh tradition? Because the Muslim tradition, as a Muslim,
we don't have a claim that the hadiths are 100% accurate or certain things are 100%.
No. I'm saying the
infallible.
Sikh tradition doesn't. I mean, the standard you're using against me. If
That's the standard you set up.
No, we haven't.
If you say to me something's perfect, I'm going to give an analogy to these guys.
Raj, can I finish?
Can I just say one thing before we go so we can start?
Yeah.
I'm an artist, yeah? If I put a drawing up here and I just left it here, people will walk past and appreciate the drawing for what it is. Now, if I put the same drawing here and I said this drawing is perfect, what do you think would happen? People would come over and they would criticize the drawing. The problem about Muslims, you're making claims that things are perfect, and then you're upset when people are criticizing or finding flaws in it. So if you write perfect
First of all, Raj, let me correct you. I never said the Muslim tradition is perfect, number one.
Is al-Bukhari's hadiths all perfect from Aisha?
They're all authentic. There is a difference between authentic and something imperfect can be authentic. Okay, so there's a distinction between authenticity and perfection. So you need to get your terms right. Second point I want to make is that I'm not getting upset. Do you think, let the viewers decide. Am I getting upset? Am I getting angry? No, I'm not. I'm very calm.
I never said anything.
I really came with my mind made up that if I come across Raj today, I'm going to request from Raj to have a proper discussion where I can talk and you can talk without interruption. So coming back to the Sikh tradition where it all started, when you actually scrutinize the Sikh tradition, the stories.
Sikhs, I'm actually a Sikh artist.
Again, when I start talking about Sikhs, Raj wants to completely cut me off.
So
wait, Raj, man.
Will you take it?
Wait, Raj.
Will you take it and read real history? It's got my drawings in there, so.
Okay. Raj,
Sikh history.
little do you know, I have read sources on Sikhs you haven't read. I was last night, Raj, last night. This morning actually, not preparing. Out of interest, I'm always reading. Okay, I mean, I have a book in my pocket here on Mughal history, the fall of the Mughal Empire. I'm reading on it all the time. It's the later Mughal period. So I'm always reading. So last night I was reading the Sikh history compiled by Macauliffe. Macauliffe was an English gentleman who had converted to Sikhism, and he wrote a sympathetic history of the Sikhs in 6 volumes, 5 or 6 volumes, published by Oxford University Press in the year 1909. And it is considered to be one of the most authoritative histories of Sikhs. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with this lady. So I think subhanAllah, she's making noise. Okay, so I've read these sources, Raj. Perhaps because when I talk to you, I realize that you haven't actually read about your own tradition. You don't know about it. Okay, a lot of these stories about the Guru's children being killed, or Guru Tegh Bahadur being killed, executed, and the miracle he performed, and he said, I have put this piece of paper in my neck, and when you will chop off my neck, you won't be able to chop it off. It will be a miracle. And Aurangzeb said, bring him to my court, and we will see the Guru do this miracle. And when they put the sword to his neck, right, his neck got chopped off. The Guru died, okay? And when they opened the piece of paper, it was written on the piece of paper. Wait. Yes, I agree. Raj, let me finish. I'll tell you what I believe in and what I don't believe in, okay? I know Guru Tegh Bahadur was definitely killed by the Mughals, no doubt. There is we don't play games. We will tell you exactly how it is, okay? I don't believe the stories around his person when he was killed or before he was killed. The miracle, for example, that Aurangzeb Alamgir was there in his court. He was brought there in the court of Aurangzeb Alamgir, and then he was told to perform the miracle. And he said, I have this paper in my neck, I'm wearing it, you won't be able to chop off my neck. So Aurangzeb said, okay, let's see the miracle. They they struck his neck came off. He was let me finish very quickly. He was decapitated. Okay, and then they opened the paper. In the paper it was written that I have given my neck but not my faith. Okay, I'm translating it into English. Right? Now this story, it has so many problems with it. First of all, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb didn't have the time to deal with Guru Tegh Bahadur in this way, because what the Sikhs don't understand and realize is that at this period, early on in Sikh history, the Sikhs were a minor menace for the Muslims in the Punjab region. For the Mughals, sorry, not the Muslims, for the Mughals who were Muslims, who happened to be Muslims, right? The Mughals, Aurangzeb Alamgir had conquered 95% of India. He had bigger threats to deal with, such as the Marathas, the Rajputs, okay, who were actually real powers. These guys were huge, their military strength was huge, right? So Aurangzeb Alamgir was busy fighting them. 24 years of his life, Aurangzeb Alamgir spent in South India, in Aurangabad, okay? Because he couldn't move back to the north. He didn't come back to the city of Delhi, because he couldn't come back because he was, so
how much longer?
When the battles, I'm finishing right now. When the battles were happening between Guru Gobind Singh and his armies and the Mughals, Aurangzeb was down in south, over 1,000 miles away, having no idea what the hell is happening in Punjab. He had appointed his governors and he would give them instructions to deal with problems as you deem fit. Suppress the rebellions, because the Sikhs were troubling the countryside, the Marathas were raiding in the south, okay? So there were many problems. Aurangzeb didn't have the time to sit and watch Guru Tegh Bahadur being executed. So all of these stories have huge problems with
the whole dialogue. All right, so let me just say, I don't consider myself an expert on Sikh history or Sikh faith. I've only come back to my faith around 4 years ago.
So why are you talking about other faith? You're talking about Islam, the science of Hadith, Raj, and when we talk about Sikh religion, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. It doesn't make sense. You are an expert in Islam, on science of Hadith, but...
I'm a hate preacher, racist, brown racist.
No, we're not saying.
I'm racist.
I'm not saying that. Ignore.
All right, can I just say something? I can come to Speaker's Corner and talk and have free speech, and I can say whatever I want. Yeah, but I think I want the basics of Sikh.
I defend his freedom.
I want the basics of Sikh team to come down, yeah, and have a conversation with Adnan. The thing is, you're diverting the conversation to something else. So let me pull it back in.
How am I diverting?
Hold on, we were talking about the science of the Hadiths. I am saying
Raj,
to
you have no idea about your own religion, the Sikh religion.
What did I say to you?
Self-confessedly, you confess that you don't know anything about Sikh religion. You want to talk about the science of Hadith.
I did not say that. I did not say that. I said I am not an expert.
Are you an expert in Islamic science of Hadith?
I'm asking you legitimate questions about the scientific reliability of the science of the Hadith.
When I do a comparison between Sikh...
you can comparison, but what I'm saying to you, is that you're droning on about Sikh history. I'm not even arguing.
This is the man who put the full version.
Oh, well done, Dai. I love the beginning, man.
You like the beginning, yeah?
You're scary.
Yeah,
you made me look like some super villain, man.
You are though.
I'll blame you if I get beaten up though, because
No, he's not a villain.
That thing's too good.
I think Raj,
it was like a trailer for a movie.
Raj is coming closer to us.
This guy's good.
Yeah,
man.
no.
I like him.
I believe the more Raj will talk to us, the more he will come close to Islam. Because we, the Muslims, you see, the Guru. The reason why I keep going back to Guru Nanak Ji is that Guru Nanak Ji is considered to be the founder of the Sikh religion. Guru Nanak Ji. Okay, he was a man who was born in a Hindu family from the Kashtri background. Okay, and he was born in the territory of Pakistan in the Punjab region. He was born in Pakistan, Guru Nanak Ji. And he was a strict monotheist. I'll come back to you.
I didn't even talk for like 1 minute.
Just give me 1 minute.
That guy interrupted.
So Guru Nanak Ji,
dude, you need to let me talk. You need to let me talk,
yes,
dude.
Raj, you will.
Come on, do you want me to be the abrasive Raj or the nice Raj? Because I got a split personality. I can troll hard and I can be very nice.
Can I finish my point?
How you treat me is how I treat you.
Okay, can I finish my point?
Yeah, I'll be nice now.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you.
And let me talk for 15
Guru
minutes.
Nanak Ji, in clear words, said that Prophet Muhammad was a prophet of God. Guru Nanak Ji said that. And my request from the Sikh community is that if you are truly Sikhs, and I believe you are, okay, and if you truly love Guru Nanak Ji, and if you truly follow him, then Guru Nanak Ji said Prophet Muhammad was a prophet of God. And if Guru Nanak Ji is telling the truth, if he is right in what he is saying, then Sikh religion as we know it today cannot be from God, because Prophet Muhammad was the last prophet of God. as he himself said it. And Guru Nanak ji said that he was a prophet. You see the contradiction?
Can I now
you
talk?
see, if the Sikhs really want to follow Guru Nanak ji, then they must follow
Can I
Prophet
talk?
Muhammad. Okay? If they don't want to follow Prophet
I know you're trying to
Muhammad,
convert my Sikh brother. It's never going to happen. Name me one Sikh that's converted.
how do you know that?
Oh, let me just say
there
something.
are people watching
Hold
out there,
on,
they
let
may
me
be thinking.
Dude, let me just say something. For me, yeah, I've never contested any of this. I've said to you, even over there, I just said it, that I believe that Islam has a lot of truth in it. But I feel
You
that
think Guru Nanak ji said he was a prophet of God?
yeah, I've even said that. I would never have not said it.
So
That's why I called him a
let's
prophet.
talk about
But
let's
let
talk
me
about
just
the
say-
implications.
let me just say-
If Prophet Muhammad is a
Hold on,
prophet of
hold
God,
on,
what
hold
does that
on,
mean,
hold on,
Raj?
You need to let me talk, man. Do you want me to become
Yeah, sure, please, please.
schizophrenic?
But, Raj,
let
can
me
we
be
have a
the nice
conversation,
Raj. Yeah,
please?
I know, but you need to let me talk.
Can you respond
No,
to me as well
but
then?
you're over talking me. I'm
Yeah,
sitting here
please
like a
do
little
talk.
sheep,
Please do
not
talk.
saying
But
nothing
I have a
for 20
question.
minutes.
If Prophet
Hold on,
Muhammad
hold
is a
on,
prophet
hold
of
on,
God, what
hold
does
on.
that mean?
We believe, yeah, I believe, and I from the Sikh, there is a lot of flaws in Islam, yeah, but we do believe that there's truth in it. Yeah, can you not understand that
But
concept?
Guru Nanak ji didn't say
But
that.
no, it doesn't matter what you think Guru Nanak Dev Ji said.
But what did he say? Let's talk about it.
That Islam, if you're, he said, be a good Muslim, be a good Hindu.
Did he say
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad was a prophet of
He
God?
said Prophet Muhammad, he was Prophet of God.
What does that mean?
But
Let's talk about
hold on,
that
hold on,
statement.
hold on,
If Guru
hold on,
Nanak ji said
hold on,
Prophet Muhammad is a
hold on,
prophet of God,
hold on,
what does that
hold
actually
on,
mean?
Hold on. But what did I say to you?
Yeah.
I believe there was corruption, yeah, in the hadith.
Who cares what
and
you
in
believe?
the-
Guru Nanak ji is bigger than you, right?
But Guru Nanak has criticized Islam as well.
Not Islam, Muslim.
Yes, he did.
No.
He believed in reincarnation,
Guru Nanak
so he
ji
could not be a Muslim.
Guru Nanak.
The
I'm not
one
saying
thing-
Guru
I know,
Nanak ji
so
was
you're-
Muslim.
No, but you're saying he's telling Sikhs
I am
to
not
become
saying
Muslims.
Guru Nanak ji was a
But
Muslim.
if his ultimate belief in reincarnation, yeah, is completely against Islam, why would he tell Sikhs to become Muslims?
You tell me then why
So
Guru Nanak ji
he
is
can-
saying he's a prophet of
Look,
God
I can believe
when
that,
he himself is not following
I
him.
can believe, yeah, that Muhammad was a prophet of God. I can believe Jesus was a prophet. I don't believe Jesus was a son of God like Muslims do. I believe he was a
No,
prophet.
we
as
don't
well,
believe
yeah?
that.
I
We don't believe he
prophet.
was a son of God.
But I don't either. I believe he's
So-
a prophet.
so-
So I can believe that, yeah. It doesn't mean that everything that Prophet Muhammad did or said, he was an infallible man to me.
Right, okay.
Yeah. He might have made mistakes. The hadiths, in my opinion, are factually incorrect in certain places and may have been altered for
Right.
political reasons. Yeah.
I understand.
So for me, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying that Muhammad is a prophet and follow Muhammad, he's saying to the Muslims to follow Muhammad, not
Okay.
to anybody else. He's
Right.
telling the Hindus to be Hindus and he's telling the Christians to be Christians. It's hard for Muslims to understand, but Sikhs don't believe in a heaven and hell like you do. We believe everyone can attain heaven. You, even if I criticize you, I think you're a bad person or I don't agree with Islam, it's your deeds that are going to send you, not your faith.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is a hard concept for Muslims to understand. Because when I say I criticize Islam, they probably think I'm saying you're going to hell, like Christians say. I don't say that. I believe you can go to heaven. You can go to heaven for your deeds, not for your faith. But I truly believe that the Quran and the Hadiths and something has happened along the way for political reasons, for mistranslations, that the Quran and the Hadiths are not 100% correct. And I believe Guru Nanak Dev Ji knew that as well. And this is why he criticized Islam as well.
Okay, now you finished and I'll talk now. First of all, you said that Guru Nanak ji was not a Muslim, and I accept that. He was not a Muslim. Although a lot of Muslims try to claim that he was a Muslim, he died a Muslim because he believed in certain aspects of Islam. And what we know of Guru Nanak ji is that he said clearly that Prophet Muhammad was a prophet and Muslims should follow it. You acknowledge that already. Now, my problem with this notion is that if Guru Nanak ji is Jag Guru, to translate it into English, that means Guru for the whole world or Guru for humanity.
I'm allowed
That's
to have
what
a
Jag
little
Guru
thing
means.
now. I've
Okay.
made it, look. I'm allowed to have a
Okay.
little speaker, man.
So if Guru Nanak ji is
that.
Jag Guru
They're
means
respecting
Guru
me now.
who came
Respect.
for the whole world. Okay, if that's the case, then Guru Nanak ji making the statement
He's the best
that Prophet Muhammad
You need
was
hi.
a true prophet of God.
You can trust me with it, man.
Okay, Raj, are you listening?
Nothing's gonna happen.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that trust. Look at that
So,
trust.
Raj, are you?
Yeah. Come on.
Raj, are you listening?
Yeah.
Like I was listening.
Yeah, I was.
Please. Okay. So if Guru Nanak ji came as Jag Guru, which means Guru for the whole world or Guru for humanity, then why is he telling the Muslims to remain Muslims, follow Muhammad if you want to be successful? It doesn't make sense. It's like Prophet Muhammad coming to people and saying, I am a true prophet of God, follow me, you will have success. And also those who are Christians, follow Christianity, you will also have success. You will also have success if Jews remain Jews, and if you become good Hindus, for example, follow your scriptures, you will. what's the point of Prophet Muhammad coming and preaching in the first place? Just like that, Guru Nanak ji, if he's saying, follow Muhammad, follow him if you want to be good. If you want to be
Muslims
successful,
follow Muhammad.
yeah. So
Not
that
Hindus.
means Guru Nanak ji didn't come for the Muslims, right?
He came for everyone.
If he came
was
for
a
the Muslims, if he came for the Muslims also, then why is he telling the Muslims to follow Muhammad?
Can I reply?
Yeah.
It's a concept that I think non-Muslims or non-Sikhs cannot understand or get their head around. Because the concept of Sikhism is universal. We believe there's truth in all religions. Yeah, we just believe our particular way is the best path. It doesn't mean a Muslim doesn't have truth within their faith, or a Christian. Yeah, it's a universal truth. Yeah, Guru Nanak Dev Ji could never have been a Muslim or never become Muslim, because the one thing is, his philosophy for the afterlife was reincarnation. So that in itself is completely contradictory to Islam. Now,
I never claimed he was a Muslim.
I know, but some people say he's Muslim, but he could never be Muslim.
I know better.
And he also said that, Hindus should be good Hindus. The whole point of the philosophy was that you should practice your faith. Yeah.
Then he was not Jagguru, he was.
You should practice your faith. Yeah. Remember, he did criticize the bad points. There are bad things in
Raj,
Islam and Hinduism, like the caste system in Hinduism.
If you have good health, and you've made £1 million by hard work, and you want to teach others how to have good health and make £1 million within a year, okay? Are you going to go and tell them, those who are, doing a rubbish job at whatever they do?
We didn't say they were doing rubbish job.
Okay, so
this is the difference. You're not understanding the concept. Because I believe you can go to heaven. You're just slightly.
No, Guru Nanak ji could have said, all Muslims, your prophet was a good man, but his teachings are imperfect. Now follow me, I'm the Guru.
And what would
I am the
happen to him?
Jagguru.
And what would
Guru
happen to
Nanak ji
him?
never.
What would have happened
to
to him under Islamic rule?
What would have happened to
If he
him?
said he was a prophet,
What would have happened?
he would have been executed.
That's your assumption.
That's my assumption.
That's your
So
assumption.
I think
Okay,
Guru
because
Nanak Dev Ji
I'll tell you many more people who preached a lot more extreme things than Guru Nanak ji were not executed. In fact, Guru Nanak ji was well respected even in the Muslim community.
Yeah.
And this shows even Guru Tegh Bahadur, when he was on his way to meet Aurangzeb, according to your history, he stayed with a Muslim.
No,
Right?
I'm not disputing this.
So all these things are there. Okay, Islam is there in the Sikh religion cannot be separated from Islam. It is impossible. In the Guru Granth Sahib,
Baba Farid,
you
a
read
lot of
Baba
his-
Farid's
yeah,
poetry
I've
as
never
your
denied it.
scripture.
Yeah, and-
Baba Farid.
So this actually disproves your point.
It
Because
doesn't.
I am not
It
telling
doesn't
you
disprove my point.
that Islam is completely wrong like the Christians do. I'm
Right.
telling you there's elements of truth. In fact, we believe it so much. In
So
our
why
own books.
don't
Hold on.
Sikhs follow
In
Baba
our-
Farid's religion?
In our book here, in our Guru Granth
I
Sahib,
don't
we
want them to
believe
convert.
but-
By
no,
the
no.
way, I don't mean to.
Yeah,
I'm not asking all the Sikhs to convert to Islam.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't get that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to, if you're convinced, it's your choice. But we're not out here to force you to come into Islam
we know that.
or put Islam down your throat.
Yeah, well-
And Raj is not here for that purpose.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
for that purpose.
In case the Sikhs.
But the thing is, you have to understand. What I want to do here is just put a shout out to Basics of Sikhi to please come down
Yeah.
and really clarify this. I'm doing my best under limited knowledge.
We had this discussion with Jagraj, by the way.
Yeah, I know he's.
Jagraj has passed away, sadly passed away,
So,
and we were very
this-
saddened by that.
yeah,
Seriously,
yeah, he's
even
amazing
even
guy.
among the Dawa guys here, we remembered Jagraj in good words, and we believe he was a good guy. And he even spoke to me on the phone.
I
He
know.
called me and he said he's going to have a discussion with me, and that unfortunately never materialized because he fell.
He's an
he fell
incredible
ill.
loss.
Yeah. And I would invite anyone from the Basics of Sikhi or any Sikh brother or sister out there to come and talk to us about these
About
issues.
theology.
About theology. Let's talk about it. Let's open up to the world. Let the world see that we are able to have decent discussions and reach
Are
conclusions.
you recording?
Yeah, he's recording. Yes.
Pathway to Misery. This guy has edited my video about 45
Have a
minutes.
go afterwards. Have a go.
He's the worst
So-
editor and worst filmmaker. If he's here, security needs to be around him. He's machine,
right.
edits out sound.
Okay.
This guy's alright. Pathway to Misery.
So-
not Pathway to Mercy, Pathway to
So
Misery.
I
man.
want to continue all of
Love
these
you as well, man.
all of these stories that are made up about the murder of Guru or the execution of Guru Tegh Bahadur, okay, by the Mughals, okay, or even the killing of the Guru's sons, Guru Gobind Singh's sons in battle. Two were killed in battle. Other two were allegedly put alive in a wall by the Muslim governor of Sirhind, Wazir Khan. Wazir Khan. Yaar, you keep saying his name
I
wrong.
can't, you know, I
Wazir
hate
Khan.
him so much,
Okay.
I can't say his name. I do it on purpose.
Or aaj kuch sikh la yaar.
No. I can't say his name, man. Every time I say it,
I just
feel
spoke
like,
Punjabi,
I feel
by
like
the way.
sick. I feel sick.
Okay. I know Raj. I know the Punjabi language. It's
He's a
beautiful
Punjabi
language.
like me, man.
That's where the passion
You
is
know,
coming
I
out.
went up to Mansoor, yeah. You know, Mansoor, he hates the word Punjab. So I went Punjab, because on the day, yeah, when I first met him, I'm proud
Because
to be Punjabi.
Punjab, during the Mughal
And he
period,
doesn't like it. So when I met him today, I didn't even say hello. I said Punjab.
because Punjab was
I
a
triggered him,
rival
man. I
to
triggered him.
Bengal. Mansoor is from Bengal.
I know, he triggered.
Okay, no. Because the Punjab region was a rival to the Bengal region in agriculture. These were the two most richest provinces of the Mughal Empire agriculturally. These were the breadbasket. That's why the Sikhs were taken so seriously by the Mughals when they posed a threat. When the Sikhs rose and caused trouble in the Punjab region, the Mughals wanted to suppress it so that they can have stability in the region that was providing bread for the empire.
Can we go back to the science of the hadiths that we originally?
Well,
was
you don't know
talking
anything about it. There's
I
no
know,
point of
but
discussing it
but
with you.
You've not.
You
answered-
don't-
you've
you
not-
said-
Let me put the question to you one more time, yeah. So get it on there. Trigger warning, please. Hey, can you put trigger warning on there? Like, have it flashing,
Can we
yeah?
have a discussion on
Flashing
Janam
trigger warning,
Saki?
yeah?
Can we have a discussion on Janam Saki?
Oh no, can I just ask you this one question?
we have a discussion on
Can we
Janam
just have
Saki?
one question again? I'm trying to ask you, if Muhammad is in a room by himself with Aisha...
I've already answered the
Oh,
question.
no, you haven't.
You keep
haven't.
repeating
haven't.
it,
You're
and
saying,
repetition is
no,
not
but
going to.
No, I'm trying to ask. Let me just one more time to clarify, because I still haven't got it.
Is this the last time?
Yeah,
then?
the last time. Muhammad
Okay.
is in a room with Aisha by herself, yeah? Aisha is infallible. She's a human being who can make mistakes. She also has kind of a little bit of a problem with Ali and some other people. So she might have political motives to kind of distort text. Muhammad, for argument's sake, is perfect. This is for argument's sake. I don't think he is. And he's having revelations from God. He then says to Aisha, this is what God said. She then walks out. There's no third party in the room.
So you don't know anything about our religion.
What I'm trying to just answer me.
You don't know
No.
anything. Why would you
But
ask a question?
It's a very.
So let me correct you.
it's a-
That's
no,
not the
hold on,
case.
hold on. Let me just finish
That
though.
never happened, Raj.
Let me-
It's
but-
hypothetical.
But how many narrations are from Aisha by herself with Muhammad?
Okay, very good point. Very good question.
How many
okay,
narrations?
wait.
So it did happen.
First of all, the revelation was not
Let me
delivered.
just clarify something.
Okay.
Was she in a room by herself at some point, and then done that narration afterwards?
There were many wives of the Prophet alone with him in the room. By the way, gurus had multiple wives.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
know,
know
I
about
know.
that. You
We
didn't
had
know.
a
You were
discussion.
talking about
No, I didn't.
polygamy.
Oh, let's
previously.
clarify this shit. I never disagreed.
Gurus had multiple
Hold on.
wives.
I never disagreed
So
with
Sikhs
polygamy.
have,
I never disagreed. I said the reason for polygamy. Muslims believe in polygamy because they believe that men are carnal and that they crave
No,
more women.
that's a lie.
This is what Mansoor said.
Ma-
I believe that...
What Mansoor says is not Islam.
Hold on.
What Mansoor
Who
says,
am I supposed to
Mansoor
trust?
is a human.
You've
He
told
can
me-
have his own
You
understanding.
told me he's the best debater here. This is what he said. to
I
me.
said he's one of the most.
believe-
I said, Raj,
Let me
hold
just-
on. Raj, you conflate terms with each other. When I say best, that means perfect to you, right?
All right. Can I just explain?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with polygamy if in wartime...
If Mansoor said that,
If
I don't
he-
believe you
Yeah, he
understood
did.
Mansoor.
Can
I
we
don't
edit-
think Mansoor.
Content for everything. Can we edit it in? When Mansoor said it, men are more carnal.
No, edit.
Edit. Can I just say something? Yeah, I have no issue with men having multiple
So
wives in wartime.
why did the Gurus have three? Why
because
would
at that time we had a population that was so small that there was no other way.
Gurus wanted to reproduce?
No, we want to reproduce. I have no issue. I would have 4 wives. Yeah. But if we have a situation where